Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Before I get into the premise of this video, first off, I'm doing a live chat at 3 p.m. today on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. So to be notified, just click on this link here. Don't tell Glenn Kellaway from the basement, he doesn't know yet. And also, Glenn and I are getting back together on this Tuesday to do our CD reviews. Glenn gave me Coliseum, the complete reunion concert, Pete Townsend, Empty Glass, A Perfect Circle, what is that called? 13th Step, Lydia Loveless, and the album is Somewhere Else, and Level 42, A Physical Presence, which is a live album. Okay, so the idea of this video is 10 bands that I've either discovered or rediscovered in the past year or two, and I've ranked them because you know I love ranking. So some bands that did not make my top 10, but I've become fans of. This was gifted to me, their first 4 albums, Noi. They're kind of a cross between Kraftwerk and the band Can. That's the way I would think of them. And yeah, I really enjoy these, so I forget the name of the person that gifted me these, but thank you very much. I do listen to them. Speaking of Coliseum, I had this album. It was called Valentine Suite, back in the early 70s, and I kind of liked it, but like I said, your tastes change through the years sometimes, and so this is. I had The Grass is Greener, the US Canadian version of this, but this is the UK version, which is the best of the two versions. And this is just so good. If you love jazz rock, check out Valentine Suite by Coliseum. Almost made my top 10. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. This is and I'm showing my favorites on these ranked groups, ranked albums, whatever. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, probably my favorite, Paper Mache Dream Balloon. It's just frustrating. I couldn't get their latest album, and they have a new one coming out. You can't get it on Amazon or in a record store. You have to order it from their website, and with the shipping and handling, you're paying like $80 for a CD. So that's kind of one of the reasons they're a little down in the list. I'm miffed at them. I'm miffed. But what a great band. This band I liked in the 70s, but I never really had heard all of their... And see, right now, I just forgot. I should have included the Kinks. That's another band. Their 60s albums. I never really listened to all of them, and now I have. So I've become a bigger Kinks fan than I used to be. But another band that, like I said, I never heard most of their 60s and early 70s albums is Procol Harum. And this, along with probably Home, are my two favorite Procol Harum albums. What a great band. But they didn't make my top 10. And lastly, The Residents. This is probably my favorite Residents album. I have, I think, 5 or 6 of their albums. They're crazy. It's bizarre. I don't like it all, but I like a lot of this one, and I played it quite a bit. Okay, these are my 10 bands that I've become a big fan of in the last couple of years. Number 10 is one that's just kind of new, and at some point I definitely want to get more of their albums. This is the favorite of the two. They have a new album which I really love, but this one is even more amazing. It's Dream Theater, Metropolis, Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory. Great. If you love prog rock and you haven't heard Dream Theater, check them out. And I just recently did a video on my Canadian Studmuffin channel with beer and vinyl. It doesn't, for whatever reason, doesn't have great views. I think it has like 2 comments. So if you're a fan or you're curious about Dream Theater, please check out the video I did with beer and vinyl on my Canadian Studmuffin channel. Number 9. And it's only number 9 because I'm just starting to really listen to these albums. I've always really respected this artist and the band, of course. I love their debut album, but I never really checked out the second and third albums until kind of recently. And I think this is my favorite of the 3, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Electric Ladyland. Amazing. And like I said, I only listened to it all the way through for the first time recently and was so impressed with it. Number 8 at the moment. I definitely want to get more of their albums. They were the first band I saw in concert, along with Golden Earring, King Crimson. I saw them in 1974. I had heard this album before, but like I said, through the years, your tastes kind of change and you like things more when you're older, I guess. And so I'm really, really getting into King Crimson. And I have Discipline, their debut album, and a couple of others that were gifted to me, which I still need to listen to more. Yeah, these were gifted to me. Lizard, and Starless and Bible Black. So thank you to whoever gifted me these. I have played them, but I just need to play them more. Now, number 7 is a band that I was a huge fan of in the early 70s. And then, I kind of just lost interest in them by the mid-70s. And the thing is, I never really heard their earliest albums. And now I have, and so I'm really, really getting back into Uriah Heep. This is probably my favorite, along with Demons and Wizards. I've got The Magician's Birthday, their debut album, and Salisbury. And I definitely want to get more. And this, it's from the CD Exchange with Glenn, so that's one of the things that I think Glenn and I both like about the CD Exchange. I mean, sometimes he doesn't give me good albums. And sometimes I give him albums that, for whatever reason, he doesn't like. I know, like Ween albums. Okay, number 6. This is a band I'd always, kind of heard about through the years. And then I think it's Glenn gave me this. He wasn't sure about it. So in a CD Exchange, he gave it to me, and I loved it. And so I've become a fan. I'm only missing their last album. And I'm talking about Can. This might be my favorite. It's between that and Monster Movie and Future Days, but this is one of the craziest, scariest in parts. And there's also a lot of great music on this too. But Tego Mago by the band Can. Number 5 is a band, I knew one of their albums in the 70s and I really liked it, but I never really, followed up. Until the last couple of years, I've gotten right back into Nectar. And this might be my favorite, along with Remember the Future, which is the album I heard in the 70s. And I definitely want to get more of their albums. I have, I think, 5 or 6 of them. So once again, if you love prog music and you've never heard the band Nectar, I wouldn't go with this one at first because it's a bit more progressive pop, I would say. But check out Remember the Future. Okay, number 4. This is a band I've always, known about, and bought a couple of their albums in the 70s, but like I said, never totally got into them until a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I'm talking about the Moody Friggin' Blues. I have played these albums so much. Their run in the 60s is one of the best runs of consistent albums. In Search of the Lost Chord, just like Glenn Kellaway, probably my favorite of the Moody Blues albums. But I also think that every good boy deserves favor is very underrated. So it would be up there too. Oh, these three. All three of these could be number one at the moment. That's how good they are. Now, number three, I used to buy albums by this band in the 70s, and I really, really liked them. But there was just a point where I stopped listening to them and never listened to their later albums. And as some of you know, you've heard the story, I had this box set, Electric Light Orchestra. And then I stupidly, because there was a point where I wasn't listening to this, and I thought, why have it sit in my CD collection? I'll sell it and get other CDs. But, later on, I really, really regretted selling this. And, I've been sent so much stuff through the years. And Pal sent me this Ween t-shirt along with another one and Ween CDs. Morris has sent me a lot of great CDs. But this might mean the most to me. So I believe his name was Carlos. I hope I'm getting that right. So thank you, Carlos. I have played this so much. And partially because this Thursday I'm doing a chat with Phil Aston on Now Spinning Magazine, and we're going to be ranking all of these albums. And I have no idea how I'm going to rank them. I think we're also going to do our top 10 favorite ELO songs. So make sure you subscribe to Now Spinning Magazine, Phil Aston. So I'm not sure which is number one yet, because I'm still, like I said, I knew El Dorado, I knew ELO 2, and Out of the Blue, and A New World Record, but I'd never really heard No Answer, On the Third Day, Face the Music, Discovery, Time, Secret Messages, or Balance of Power. So I've been listening to this, a lot in the past month or two, preparing for our chat. So I'll just go with this for now, because I know it's a lot of fans' favorites too. It's ELO's Time. What a great friggin' record. I don't know if I'll rank it number one, but it is just totally amazing. Yeah, I've always really respected ELO and Jeff Lynne, of course. I've always thought was a musical genius, but doing this deep dive into all of their music has been quite the journey. Okay, now if Glenn Kellaway from the basement is watching, go Glenn, go. Number one and number two, they're both number one. I'm talking about, number two is the Beach Boys. I've always loved the Beach Boys. I've had this Pet Sounds in my collection for years. And what happened a couple of years ago, I was on Spotify, and I thought I would listen to Pet Sounds on Spotify instead of coming out here and getting the CD. And I was listening to the 50th anniversary mix of this, and here it is here. So I've got two. And this is the 50th anniversary mix, and it just sounded so amazing on Spotify that it just impressed me more than ever, the remix. And so I've been delving into the Beach Boys. I've got a lot of their albums and some Brian Wilson solo albums. And I thank Nicholas Pearl for giving me some Beach Boys CDs also. This might be number one, along with the Beach Boys' Love You, but then, I love Surf's Up, Friends, Wild Honey. I love the Beach Boys. And you shouldn't feel ashamed to love the Beach Boys. All right, number 1. Try and guess. Excuse me, I'm a little itchy here. Try and guess what number 1 is. That's right, how did you guess? It's Ween. Oh my God. I've always, I've heard about the band Ween for years and years. Back before YouTube, I used to be on this website called Acid Planet, and you could create your own songs with these music loops. And I'd have like hundreds of songs. And I just remember way back in the day, more than once somebody would say, you must be influenced by Ween, or this sounds like Ween. I didn't have enough interest to even check them out, right? And then in a CD exchange, I was given Ween's Quebec to check out, and I loved it right away. And then I bought the pod, which I hated on the first listen. But yeah, they might be in my top 5 bands of all time. And I love every single album I have by them, every song. And the only one I'm missing is the 12 Country Greats or whatever. But Ween is number 1. And that is it. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of these bands, and also what bands or solo artists have you discovered in the last year or two. I'm curious. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.